Over to Kenya Power offices, whereby we understand there is a presser. Currently, of course, to highlight some of the issues that emerged over the weekend. Remember that 23 senior officials of the company were fired over a multi-million shilling scandal. Let's just listen into what is currently being said. We'll come back to studio.
If you have been affected, call this number, come to this place, ask this question. And last time I asked management how far we are. There has been an upsurge of people over some time initially when that was on, and then gradually that tapered down, and now we do not have as long lines as we had when this complaint initially came to the fore. So I think we are addressing it, and again we repeat, if there's any person or any group of people or agency who think they have been not treated fairly as far as their bill is concerned, we have a unit that deals with that, and we had these ads in the papers all over. Now I'll ask my colleague, the MD, to probably talk about the process of contracting.
Thank you, Chairman. I think on this issue of contractors, we set out to tender to pre-qualify our labor and transport contractors, basically what we call the L&T contractors. And at the end of the process, we pre-qualified slightly over 500 contractors. And these are the contractors who would help us carry our activities over the next 2 years. And then immediately that exercise was concluded, I received some complaints that some of the contractors were locked out, yet in their view, they thought they met the criteria. That was when we instigated, or I instigated, the internal audit investigations, and the outcome of that report is what I am sure you have seen. From that report, it is clear that slightly over 350 contractors actually got into the list of the pre-qualified contractors, when in actual fact, they never met the criteria. And majority of these are what we are saying have our employees associated with. As an organization, we had signed a code of ethics at the beginning of this year, towards the end of last year, where we all agreed as employees that we can only be employees of Kenya Power. We cannot be employees and at the same time be contractors. So what we were basically doing is implementing our own operational and administrative programs. And so when we discovered that our employees were involved in this, then the most natural thing was to say you are in breach of our policies within HR, and therefore we have to separate. And like I said, we found 19 employees being part and parcel of this process. When disciplinary process began, out of the 19, 18 were found to be directly involved, and one of them was found not to be involved. Therefore, the 18 have been dismissed, while the one left still remains as our employee. Please, to set the record straight, it is 19 and not 23. Thank you.
A question about money.
About Asfari. Yeah, looking at this, you can clearly see it is a procurement process. Once we procure contractors, it is at that point that we now use them internally as part of our capacity to build our lines.